Hi everybody, this is Boogess Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a Throwback Thursday review on the McFarlane Monsters Voodoo Queen figure. So before we take a look at the Voodoo Queen, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that she comes with. So first up, she comes with her spear, and this is a really long spear. It's even taller than she is, but it has some great sculpt detail to it. The wrapping on the handle there looks very nice. I like how you can see the wood showing through a little bit right here. You have the end here. The end of it almost looks like it's made from a rock, and you get some really nice blood paint right there. That looks very nice. McFarlane Toys did an awesome job on this. The only downside is it's extremely fragile. It did break in 2 places on me. So yeah, if you have this, definitely be careful of putting this in her hand because it is extremely fragile. And finally, she comes with her tribal mask, and this looks stunning. The feathers here at the top are painted very well. I think it's all cast in a dark brown color and all of the different colors painted over top of it, like the yellow for the feathers right here, the green for the grass. It just looks very nice. You get some textures right here. It just looks very stunning. You also get some nice blood paint over top of it. It just rests on her head. This is a really rubbery piece and it just rests on there. So if you move the figure around very much, it will drop off the figure. But if you have her just like this, it'll stay on really well. The mask is pretty much the size of her whole torso and it does cover up all that sculpt. So I do prefer to leave it off, even though it does look stunning. So now let's go ahead and take a look at her head sculpt without this on. McFarlane Toys did a very awesome job on this head sculpt. I like how you can see a little bit of the paint on her face is faded a little bit. You can see the skin tone showing through. I think that looks very nice. She has these very piercing blue eyes and a little bit of blood on the corner of her mouth right there. The hair is sculpted really well. You get a little bit of paint variation over top of it. I think it's like a really light gray over top of black. But the hair is sculpted really nicely. The one weird thing is she has like these tendrils, I guess. Not quite sure why that was needed. But yeah, she does have these kind of tendrils on the back of her head. I'm not sure what to describe them as. They have just a little bit of brown paint on the end of them. But other than that, it's just cast in this flat black color. That's the one weird thing about this figure. She doesn't have much in the way of clothing, but I do like how she has these bones on her. I think that looks very nice. You get some nice blood paint on her sides, and I swear I've seen some versions that don't have blood. I don't know if I'm just imagining that, but I'm pretty sure I've seen versions that don't actually have this glossy blood paint on it. There's none here on her right side, but you do get it down her left side, and that looks very nice. You get some bones here on the elbows. That looks very nice. The skirt is sculpted really well. You get some cool texturing to it. I like how it fades from that brownish color to that light yellow. That looks very nice. She has these shrunken heads attached to some real string right here. That looks very nice. These shrunken heads are actually detailed very, very nicely. They have some very intricate sculpt detail to them. They're cast in a flat black color and have a little bit of brown paint over top of them with some blood. I do wish they would have been painted a little bit better. I feel like the brown paint is kind of put on haphazardly, especially with all of the really awesome sculpt to all these heads. So while they do look awesome, I do wish they would have been painted just a little bit better. I forgot to mention that you also get a little bit of paint variation on her skin. You get a darker skin tone over top of the lighter skin tone to give it variation, like you get some right here on her abdomen. I think that looks really good. Her grass boots look very nice. You see the animal skulls on the top. That looks really good. The variation in the grass looks very nice. You get lighter and darker tones painted on. That looks really good. Looking at the bottoms of her feet, you can see that they're slightly raised on the soles. Instead of just being completely flat, they're kind of raised, which really doesn't help her stand much because you can see that the right foot is angled a little bit. It just wants to throw her balance off. But luckily, you can lean her on her spear and balance her pretty nicely, though I am a little weary of doing that because of how thin and fragile it is. So now, let's go ahead and go over her articulation. She has a swivel neck that can move side to side. It is very limited because of the hair right there. She has shoulders that can move up just a little bit. She has a swivel at the bicep on the right side. Swivel wrists that can move side to side very slightly. This one can actually move all the way around because it's not holding the spear. She has a cut right here for articulation. It can move side to side like that, but she kind of looks broken. I honestly don't think they needed to break the sculpt up right there for articulation. She has swivel thighs that can move side to side very slightly, and swivel boots. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here she is next to the McFarlane Monsters Frankenstein figure, another very awesome figure from this line. And finally, here she is next to the last figure that I have from this line, the McFarlane Monsters Dracula figure. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up if you're into the McFarlane Monsters figures. McFarlane Toys did an incredible job on this. The sculpt and paint detail are out of this world. Just like with all of the classic McFarlane figures, the articulation isn't much, but you really don't need it. It's a fantastic looking figure, even without much articulation. So if you're able to find one of these at a good price, then I would definitely recommend picking her up. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.